Hi, today we're going to have a look at cluster analysis. So I go straight over to share my screen. And as you can see here, I'm in the in my program, and I want to have a look at the bar, which allows me to have a look at cluster analysis, which is in Explore. This is what the final product should look like when I've gone into sources and collected literature. So I just wanted to show you that you can bring a summary up and a diagram. Well, how did I do that? So I simply go into Explore, I press cluster analysis, and this time I'm going to look, and it's my initial part of my literature that I've been coding. So I'm going to have a look at sources. So I'm going to press next, and then I'm going to select the literature that I've had in my internals that I'm just coding on PDFs, just to initially see how what's happening with my literature, etc. So I'm just going to have a look at the moment at a couple of these folders that I have been coding to, just to see what's happening with the literature at this stage before it gets saturated. So as you can see, I'm asking it to cluster by word similarity, which is the first drop down, and to bring me up Pearson's correlation coefficient, which acts very similarly to the quantitative Pearson's correlation R coefficient, where 1 is perfect match, 5 is about halfway down, and it's midway. Going less than 5.05 is starting to have a weak association, and it's similar here. So let's have a look, and I've picked up certain literature while it's churning over, and you'll see that we have an indicator bar down here in to what percentage complete it's done so far. So let it do its work down there. You will see that on the right hand tab right here we have something called diagram and summary. Diagram will bring it up in diagrammatic format, visualization of all the literature that you just asked and selected to go in, to see what's similar and what is not coming up similar. And when this is finished churning over, and as you can see, you're getting a percentage all the way down here on the left hand bar down the bottom as to how far it's going through. So it's going through quite a bit of work. It's looking at all the words in the literature that you just asked it to attach to. The summary is where the coefficient table will come out, and it will take A source against B source, and it will give you a coefficient as a result. So let's just let it churn over for a bit and see what analysis it can come up with. And this is always good to, as you're doing it and doing the literature coding, to see where you're going to with the literature, and don't forget it is critical, so you're seeing what is happening, what situations is happening. I've asked it here from school age athlete high performance data to go in and look at literature that I had collected in the initial stages of my PhD when I was starting up the literature review, of how close, similar, some of the literature that I was starting to read, which was varied. It was going from the situation of a school age athlete to what their pressures, their resilience, their psychological, physical demand was, all the way through to what sport policies was being applicable to their situation. So there was a lot of diverse areas that I was covering. So at each stage I needed to see, is these literature articles similar, the same, or not? Now this is, as I said, before you get to saturation, so it's really important. Now some of the other little ribbons up here that I will demonstrate once our diagram and our summary comes up is the actual diagrammatic visualizations that a cluster analysis can come out in, and you can either have it in as you can see, just all in parallel bars, the view that it can actually come up in. And now it's at 50%, it comes up to 100% quite fast. And it will, as you can see, demonstrate for me all the literature that I've asked it to go through. As you can see, it's clustered so many things together. And as you can see, all down here is all the sport policies clustered together as they should be. And certain other ones up here that are about the athlete in various stages. Now, as that's come up, if I don't like the view, all of this is live data, but if I don't like that view, I could perhaps cluster it almost like a density figure where, as you can see, as I zoom it up, I can actually see that a lot of literature, especially about passion in sport, etc., is all clustering together. And that was simply by me clicking there. I'll change it back to our original. To get to your live data that it's actually identified as being quite close, you just simply right click and open the source. The summary then comes up that we are seeing a coefficient that I had a look at the Australians winning edge to source A to another part of the policy winning edge that I had a couple of policies. It should be coming up as one because, yes, they were different areas. But as you can see, as it's further going down, it gives me a coefficient that is going down, saying these may be less similar than the ones that are stronger coefficients up the top. I hope that gives you a little analysis. Thank you.